Chelsea have already blown past €300 million. Manchester City just broke the British transfer record, and then Chelsea broke it again 4 days later. Real Madrid brought in a new manager and rebuilt half their spine. And we haven't even hit deadline day yet. If you want the full picture before a ball is even kicked, stick around, this is going to be a big one. This transfer window opened at different times depending on the league. The Premier League got going June 15th, while La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga and League One all opened either late June or July 1st. And because there was a World Cup sitting right in the middle of the summer, business actually started slow and then absolutely exploded once nations were eliminated and players got back to their clubs. Every major league closes its window on either August 31st or September 1st, so we are now deep into the business end. Deadline day chaos is coming. But so much has already happened that there's more than enough to unpack. Let's start where the money's been loudest. The Premier League. The Premier League has once again been the financial centre of gravity for world football this summer, and two clubs in particular have set the tone: Manchester City and Chelsea. City broke the British transfer record to sign Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest for a fee in the region of £116 million, a statement signing in midfield. It didn't stay the record for long, though, because Chelsea came back and beat it, paying around £117 million to bring Morgan Rogers in from Aston Villa. Under new manager Xabi Alonso, Chelsea have been the most aggressive spenders in Europe, closing in on €340 million across 9 signings, including Marco Palestra from Atalanta, Maxence Lacroix, and veteran additions like Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson to add experience to a very young squad. They've also been smart on the outgoing side, moving Marc Cucurella to Real Madrid, André Santos to Manchester United, and Tariq George to Everton to help fund the incomings. Tottenham have been the other club making serious noise. Under Roberto De Zerbi, Spurs have spent roughly €267 million rebuilding several areas of the pitch. Sandro Tonali for around €108 million, Mateus Fernandes for close to €99 million, and Jan-Paul van Hecke for about €61 million, while adding experienced free transfer signings in Andy Robertson, Marco Senesi, and Martin Dubravka. That's a squad clearly being built to bounce back after 2 straight 17th place finishes. Arsenal have continued building on last year's spending with the additions of players like Christos Tsolis, while Manchester City also brought in Newcastle midfielder Elliot Anderson as their marquee piece. Manchester United and Liverpool have both strengthened as well, though their business has been more measured compared to the West London and North London spending sprees. The headline number so far: Premier League clubs are on pace to challenge, and possibly break, last summer's record spend of more than £3 billion, and that's before deadline day madness even kicks in. Over in Spain, the biggest story of the summer is at Real Madrid, who brought back Jose Mourinho as manager and have rebuilt significant parts of the squad around him. Madrid signed Marc Cucurella from Chelsea, added Bernardo Silva and Ibrahima Konate on free transfers, and brought in Denzel Dumfries for around €20 million, a squad clearly being retooled for multiple fronts. There's also strong interest in RB Leipzig winger Yang Diamand, though as of the most recent reporting a fee hasn't been agreed. Barcelona have made a real statement themselves, prizing Anthony Gordon away from Newcastle United for a fee in the region of €80 million, and they're reportedly closing in on Borussia Dortmund's Karim Adeyemi in a deal worth close to €29 million. Both moves suggest Barca are refreshing their attack heavily this summer. Elsewhere in Spain, Atletico Madrid have made moves too, bringing in fullback Alejandro Grimaldo on a 4-year deal worth around €20 million as their first major signing of the window. The theme in La Liga right now: it's a 2.5-horse spending race between Madrid, Barcelona, and an Atletico side trying to stay competitive at the top without breaking the bank the way their rivals are. Italy's transfer window opened a little later, on June 29th, but Serie A clubs have still gotten plenty done. AC Milan have made the biggest individual splash, backing new manager Ruben Amorim with the signing of his compatriot Goncalo Ramos from Paris Saint-Germain in a deal reportedly north of €70 million. Milan have also added defender Mario Gila from Lazio for an initial €25 million, with Real Madrid taking a cut of that fee thanks to a sell-on clause from Gila's academy days. Juventus have been busy too, bringing in Jeff Okada from Genoa for over €16 million and completing the signing of Turkish wing-back Zeki Çelik on a deal running through 2029. Inter Milan have had a strange summer, losing key figures like Jan Sommer, Francesco Acerbi, and Matteo Darmian, plus seeing target Marco Palestra join Chelsea instead, meaning they're still searching for a replacement for the departing Denzel Dumfries. On the positive side, they picked up goalkeeper John Stones on a free transfer. Fiorentina have quietly had one of the more efficient windows outside the traditional giants, landing Arthur Utter from Udinese in a club record deal worth around €30 million, plus the versatile Christ Olai from Trabzonspor. And Napoli, after a late managerial appointment bringing in Massimiliano Allegri, are only just beginning to ramp up their transfer activity. Expect them to be one of the busier clubs as deadline day approaches. Germany's business has been a bit more low-key so far, but Bayern Munich have made two smart, value-driven signings following strong World Cup performances. Nathaniel Brown and Ismail Saibari, each arriving for fees in the region of €55 million, rewarding standout tournaments for Germany and Morocco respectively. Borussia Dortmund, meanwhile, have been more active on the outgoing side, losing winger Karim Adeyemi to Barcelona for close to €29 million, a deal that stings given how important he'd become to their attack. The Bundesliga's overall approach this summer has stayed true to form. Fewer blockbuster fees, more value-focused business built around player development and smart resale, with Bayern still comfortably the league's dominant spender. In France, Paris Saint-Germain have been sellers as much as buyers this summer, moving Goncalo Ramos to AC Milan for a big fee as they continue reshaping their squad post-Mbappé era. Monaco have made a notable move of their own, triggering their option to sign winger Ansu Fati permanently from Barcelona, ending his loan spell and making the switch a full-time one, with Barca retaining a sell-on clause. League One continues to operate as Europe's best value league. Clubs that are frequently developing and selling talent to the Premier League and Serie A are rather than competing with them on spending power, and this summer has followed that exact pattern again. So, stepping back, what does all of this actually mean for the season ahead? In the Premier League, Chelsea's spending under Xabi Alonso and Tottenham's rebuild under Roberto De Zerbi suggest both clubs are aiming for an immediate top six push, while Manchester City's record-breaking Elliot Anderson signing shows Pep's side are refusing to stand still even after their dominant recent years. Arsenal and Liverpool remain the teams to beat, but the gap at the top of the table looks tighter than it has in a while. In Spain, this is shaping up to be one of the most fascinating La Liga seasons in years, with Jose Mourinho's return to Real Madrid injecting real unpredictability into a rivalry with Barcelona that was already red-hot. Whichever side gets their new-look attack clicking first could have a real head start. In Italy, Milan's aggressive spending under Amorim signals genuine title ambition, while Inter's messier summer, losing key defensive pieces without fully replacing them yet, is a real yellow flag heading into the season. Napoli's business, still to come, could end up being the difference-maker in a congested top four. Germany remains Bayern's league to lose, but their World Cup reward transfer strategy shows a club playing the long game rather than panic buying. And in France, PSG's continued willingness to cash in on players even after their historic Champions League run shows a club that trusts its academy and scouting network more than most. Across the board, one theme stands out. This window has been less about one or two mega clubs going wild, and more about a genuinely competitive spread of ambitious spending. Chelsea, Tottenham, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Milan, and Bayern have all made statements in their own way. That usually means one thing for us as fans: a more unpredictable, more entertaining season is coming. And that's every major deal completed so far across Europe's top 5 leagues heading into the 2026-27 season. But remember, deadline day is still coming at the end of August, so there's plenty more still to unfold. If this breakdown helped you get caught up, drop a like, subscribe for deadline day coverage, and let me know in the comments which club you think has had the best window so far. I'll see you in the next one.